Hello, 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 and welcome back to another edition of Rausch Survives Minecraft. I'm very sorry about that. It is Thursday night. I am freshly in from work. I just got out of the shower. We're going to play some Minecraft, and I actually have, if you can hear this, that, my friends, is an itinerary for the evening. We have things we're going to do in this exact order. We are going to gather wood. We are going to gather seeds. We are going to begin an indoor farm within our cave system here. And we are going to turn the seeds in the farm into wheat. And we're going to go from there and try to get some sheep, make a bed, the whole shebang. Going to do this in about a half hour. We're going to make this work. If we don't get to everything tonight, we continue on. And I also have an itinerary for talking points. I'm quite organized. So as we get going, we're going to try to head back outside. I'm also playing with a mouse for the first time. Ow, and there it is. My controls get stuck every time for at least 3 seconds. That's weird. Come on. Yeah, so the first point of talking is the fact that I came home today from work. Tonight, I should say. It's 11:47 p.m. on Thursday night. Oh, good. We're going to go out and get some wood. We should probably build a new axe before we do that. I came home from work, and it has been hot, as I mentioned in other videos of mine. It has been quite hot here in Philadelphia. And tonight, when I got home, the inside of my apartment was 96 degrees. 96 degrees inside. I'm pretty sure it wasn't even that hot outside. So, I'm a little perplexed and flummoxed, but as I mentioned earlier today in the video I put up, my WWE 13 video, my air conditioner's broke, and I'm afraid to tell my landlord. Not afraid, I feel bad, but I have to tell them, because they have to fix it. I've had problems with the HVAC unit before. Last winter 2011 into 2012, I had some pretty big issues with the heating component of it, which were then fixed so that this year they work absolutely perfectly. I had no problems with my heat at all this year. Now it seems that my air conditioner is completely broken. There was a night last week where it got kind of hot. You know, it was like 85 degrees outside, and I wanted to be comfortable when I went to bed. So I turned on the air conditioner. I put it at like 70 degrees, which is where I want it. And about 2 hours later, it wasn't feeling any better at all. So I went back and I adjusted it, and before I went to bed, I was kind of perplexed by it. I turned it all the way down to 60 degrees. I woke up the next morning. It was 6 o'clock in the morning. The sun hadn't even completely come up yet. It was 84 degrees in my apartment with my air conditioner turned all the way down to 60. That didn't make any sense to me at all. No sense whatsoever. So I came to the conclusion that it's broken. I came home tonight. It's 96 degrees in my apartment. I just tried turning it back on to see if I can bring that down even to 85, just because I want to sleep at some point, and I'm trying to think of what's actually going to be livable. And I can deal with 85 if I have to, if I'm not sleeping under covers and wearing very minimal clothing. Anything else is a bit much. I don't think I could actually sleep in 96 degrees. I think I would just, silently start to hate everything around me and start punching things randomly. So that's where I am right now. I just took a freezing cold shower, half to wash the stupid work stink off of me and half to get rid of the insane amount of heat happening in my general living area. So it is quite hot. I took a video, actually. I recorded something for the end of this video using my little point and shoot camera. I recorded the beer that I'm drinking tonight, which there it is. And in my excitement to take that sip, I spilled a good bit down myself. Good. Just got out of the shower. That's wonderful. But I recorded a video, and you're going to hear this weird, consistent clicking noise in the background of that when it comes on. That's my fan in my kitchen, my ceiling fan, which also appears to be breaking and or broken. So, have I mentioned that I'm moving in July? I'm going to have to give my landlord a pretty big laundry list of things in this place that aren't quite working right, and hopefully they get them fixed in time for the next people that move in here, because, I live in a pretty cool apartment. I'm not going to lie. I really lucked out when I found this place. I was living with a girl who I worked with at the time. We were just friends, and she offered me a chance to get off my grandmom's couch and come live in the city, and I appreciated it. But I ended up moving into what was essentially the office in her one-bedroom apartment. It was advertised as a second bedroom. It really wasn't. It was really small. But I was only paying like $300 a month in rent, too. I mean, I got what I was paying for. I should put it that way. But we were very different people. She wasn't as she didn't organize her things the same way that I did. We were both messy about weird different things. I left dishes in the sink all the time. She had her clothes and stuff all over a common area. Her dog peed everywhere. It was just like a really bad experience by the end of it. Like I really just wanted to get out and live on my own terms and clean up when I wanted to clean up and all that kind of stuff. So I started apartment hunting in the summer of 2011, and I found a couple places in and around South Philly where I was already living at the time, and they were good. They were reasonably priced. I was excited, but then they kept on getting snatched up at the last minute. There was even one that I went to. I toured the apartment, and I left for 6 minutes to go make up my mind as to whether or not I wanted it. And I decided I did, and I came back, and the guy had just signed a lease with the person that came to tour the apartment after me. How messed up is that, man? So anyway, I was kind of giving up, and I was just trolling around on Craigslist one day, and I found the apartment that I currently live in listed from a rental company I was unfamiliar with, and I went to check it out, and I came here, and I remember the guy that was supposed to show it to me was really late the day that he came by. He was like 20 minutes late or something like that. And this apartment, it's not exactly in the best part of Philadelphia. I mean, it's a great part of the city now, but back in the 90s, before the 90s, even the 80s, I lived in a neighborhood called Point Breeze. It is not known for being very friendly to people. What do I have wood-wise? That's going to do for now. 50 is good. Oh, I don't think my computer wants to play a game right now. I think it's very hot. Anyway, so my neighborhood was just not considered the best in the world, and I'm sitting outside. I was not too familiar with Point Breeze at the time at all. I lived in a different neighborhood, and I came, let's kill some pigs while we're out here. We got to do this. We got to get some pork. I'm sorry if this is as painful to watch as it is as painful for me to play. Let's check our F3. Where are we at? Yeah, we got 20 using Optifine, 24. And then as soon as we move, it drops. There's 18, there's 12, there's 7. Wow, this is stupid. Sometimes this game, like if I was to get in any real combat right now, I'd be completely boned. Come on, man. It wasn't doing this last week. Anyway, wow, okay. No, guys, I'm going to pause it here for just a second. This is completely unacceptable. I'll be right back. All right, I think we found the problem. It appears as though Optifine somehow uninstalled itself. And yeah, everything is already running smoother. Let me just get a check on my FPS. I'm up to 58, 53. Perfect. I don't know how that happened, but apparently, yeah, Optifine uninstalled itself from my Magic Launcher. We're good to go. All right, so this was about 15 minutes ago. That's how long this whole process took. So I forget. Oh, we were talking about my apartment. So I walked into the place, and it was really just really nice, man. I can't really even begin to describe it. It was a perfect one-bedroom. It was exactly what I thought it should have been. I didn't feel threatened. It was on the 3rd floor of a building. It was far from street level. And then, on top of all of that, I found out that it had central air, and I had, nice tile floor in the kitchen. Everything was just really cool about it. So I actually decided that I was going to stick around, and I was going to take it, and they gave it to me, and it was only $625 a month. Now, I don't know where you live right now, if that sounds expensive or if that sounds cheap for an apartment. In Philadelphia, for a full one-bedroom with a separate living room, that is preposterously cheap. You are hard-pressed to find anything cheaper than that. My God, I keep getting lost. I don't know how to get home. We're going to have to fight our way out of this tonight. We're getting a little twitchy on the FPS here, but it's better than it was before. So I have been living here since August 22nd, 2011. That was my move-in date. And I really love my apartment. But now I'm on my way out because my lady and I are finally going to move in together, and we need bigger space. We both live in smaller one-bedroom apartments that just aren't going to do for our collective lifestyles anymore. We both come with lots of material possessions, and frankly, I'm pretty sure I have more clothes than she does, that need closet space. So we're looking around at houses and stuff like that. But so yeah, in 2 months I'm moving out of here, and I want to make sure that they know that, hey, your air conditioner's not working too hot right now. Let's cook some pork chops. But yeah, so long story short, I came home and it's 96 degrees, and it's ridiculous. I don't even think it's that hot at street level. I think it's just because I'm up on the 3rd floor. So what if I'm playing Minecraft in my underwear? So what? Big whoop. Want to fight about it? Yeah, so we got our wood. We're gonna turn that into wood planks. I don't want to keep any of the actual wood yet. I'm gonna use that for embellishments later, but we just need all of this for anything we're gonna build. I want to have a lot of wood indoors too. I might convert all of this to wood flooring in the house. Not quite sure yet. Well, we'll see how that goes. But at the very least, I want to do some pillaring around the way right now. So we will do that. Let's put our saplings in our chest too. Got all kinds of stuff. I forgot about that. More spruce saplings there. Perfect. We'll get 64 more coal. Let's put that flint away. Get some kind of organization going on. Let's combine some stone here too. So, all right, on to actual talking points while our time is short this evening. First off, we're going to talk about technology. More specifically, we're going to talk about everything that goes into making YouTube videos to kind of help everyone understand why I fell off my schedule this week. And technically, I'm actually on schedule because this will be, when this goes live tomorrow on Friday, this will be my 15th video across 3 weeks, which is exactly the schedule I was shooting for, 5 videos a week. I'm happy with that. I'm very happy with that. However, let's do that for now. I wasn't really happy with it this week only because they weren't on the days that I expected them to be. And, well, I ran into some issues. I posted some Twitter statuses, stati, whatever you want to call it. I left a comment on my YouTube channel where I learned a lot about the proper codecs used for Final Cut Pro. That's a bad placement there this week. I am using the free trial of Final Cut Pro for all of my video editing. I think I'm at 14 days left on that. And I'm undecided as to whether or not I'm going to buy it because, well, it's $300 friggin' that I don't have right now. I do believe I just mentioned I'm moving soon, right? Yeah. So, I've been using their free software, and it's a full-featured program. I mean, I really like it. It doesn't come with any limitations other than the fact that it eventually runs out. This week, though, I ran into a huge problem where, for some reason, my videos just stopped processing. The speed on my videos went way down from where it was, and I was talking like 5-hour encode times before I could even consider uploading them to YouTube, which would typically take another, I mean this literally, like 12 to 14 hours. It was really rough to even get one video a day up. So I did a little research on the problem I was having, and I reinstalled Final Cut, and I went through all this unnecessary stuff, and I was freaking out because I just recorded like 18 hours, no, not 18, about 4 hours of footage in WWE 13 Universe mode. And I was really upset. Like, I wasn't sure, if I was going to be able to use any of it because there came a point, I think this was on Wednesday, where I was trying to begin uploading my stuff for Universe mode, and I would open Final Cut with the files coming from Universe mode, and Final Cut would immediately crash. I'm talking like 30 seconds in, just completely crash, and it would not start up again. And it just kept on repeating itself over and over and over again. Oh, this room's going to derp out a little bit. Whatever. And I, for the life of me, could not figure out why. I had no idea what the hell was going on. I was perturbed, to say the least. I messed around with everything I could, and then I found one very fortuitously placed internet article which mentioned proper codecs. And I had heard of codecs before. I knew the difference. I thought I knew the difference between the MP4 format, which uses the H.264 codec, and then the native Apple.mov format, which uses ProRes 422 typically, which is very Apple and only Apple. But I never knew what made them what they are, and the problem I was encountering comes from the fact that the HD PVR that I finally got after all the crap I told you about last week, that stupid shipping company, I'm not even going to get into what happened because I'm at war with them right now, and I'm afraid anything I say can and will be used against me in a court of law. but they just completely lost it, and I ended up having to buy it at Best Buy to go home and be able to use it this week. But it turns out that the PVR natively releases its video in the MP4 H.264 codec. Now, I didn't think it was a problem because it's video. No matter what, it's video. And I had uploaded H.264 things before. I hadn't had a problem with it at all. So I couldn't figure out why it was kind of skitzing out on me now. And it turns out that Apple does natively read .mov files, MOV files, that write themselves in the ProRes 422 format. And I knew that. I did not understand the difference between 422 and H.264. H.264 is very compressed video. For those that don't know, for those that don't upload things to YouTube, it is optimized, and it for all intents and purposes, it's technologically wonderful because it makes much smaller file sizes. ProRes 422 is much more spacious and full of gaps and unnecessary space and much less efficient, and therefore, for the same amount of video, it creates much larger file sizes. Oh man, we're going to have bad things coming in here if I don't put a wall up. There we go. Skeleton right outside. Okay. So I'm not sure why Apple does some of the things it does. I have been an Apple user since 2008 when I got my first MacBook. And it perplexes me now that I'm learning more and more about the insides of the MacBook series, of the Apple computer series. And I really just do not understand why they do some of the things they do. In this case, I have no idea why they choose to write in why they make their video editing applications prefer a codec that just is inefficient, that creates much larger videos than are necessary. So basically, what was happening was my HD PVR was writing my videos in the MP4 H.264 codec, which for all intents and purposes should be standard across the goddamn internet. It saves so much space. And an MP4 would be like 400 megabytes against 40 gigs in certain .mov files. It's insane. But for whatever reason, Apple chooses to read natively in MOV files. So the wrestling videos that I had uploaded to Final Cut Pro, they were not uploading properly. They were shutting down Final Cut Pro because it couldn't read the H.264 codec. It could not edit in that format. So after I figured that out, I got on a system where I downloaded a couple different codec changers, and you know, I got those videos switched over Ricky Tick. Hang on, what am I doing here? So I got wood. I gotta get seeds, but I have to go back outside. It's nighttime. So what else can I do with wood in the meantime? I got chests. I don't know. I want to make a farm indoors. I can start laying the groundwork on that. Do I have much dirt? I got 15 dirt. Yeah, let's go do that. Let's do that in one of these rooms. Let's make a hoe. Why are my FPS dropping again? Did it uninstall itself? Come on. Unacceptable. Hang on. Yep, there we go. That's what I wanted. There, you go all there. So anyway, the workaround I found, I downloaded both Handbrake and what is my other one that I'm using right now? There we go. MPEG Stream Clip, if you saw that pop up on the screen there, for point of reference. And each of those is helping me. They're both like file transfer, essentially. That's what they are. They change file names. They change little file domains, whatever you want to call them. Let's get rid of this because this is just this 12 frames per second. Why? Why? Why are you? I'm not even moving, and you're stuck on 12. Jeez. I'm sorry for whining. This is insane. You know, I'm taking another break. Bye, guys. Not the hard drive. And we're back, and we're at 18 just standing here. 19, 18, 17. I don't really understand what's happening here. Outside, where more things happen, I was getting 58 frames per second. Now I'm down to 16. Optifine is installed. I don't get it. I'm a little disappointed. We're going to try to do this anyway. I don't care. I'm just tired of stalling, guys. Anyway, so yeah, we were trying to make a hoe back here, and we never did it. I lost my train of thought. It's technology, codecs. Long story short, I have found a runaround with both Handbrake and MPEG Stream Clip. It has made my whole upload process a lot shorter. The only thing I'm still stuck on is going to be the WWE videos, because the Hauppauge, my PVR, is still only... I just made an axe. Jesus Christ. And I clicked on it because everything's moving slowly. The Hauppauge, I have to find out a way for it to export video in that .mov file, but for now I can only figure out a way to make it do MP4. So I'm kind of boned on that for the time being, but that's the only series. Everything else is moving at a mile a minute compared to what it was before I realized what was going on here. So, oh, yep, take your time, don't worry. Glitch, lag, glitch, lag. We're going to dig right here. We're going to make this our farm. So yeah, everything is going to run a lot smoother, but let this be a lesson in technology for anyone that thinks they want to get into YouTube and get into making videos and everything. If you do not understand proper codecs, as I obviously did not before this whole magic little experience started, make sure you take a crash course. Make sure you do something to get a basic understanding of what this stuff is. Please use the keys. Oh my god. Because at least then, when your game lags and freezes all the time for no friggin' reason, you'll have a camera that works well. So yeah, that's my technology lesson. That's why my scheduling was kind of off this week, and no matter what, next week will be a lot better. Moving right along, some of you have seen my 4th series. You've seen the introductory video for it. It is WWE 13 Universe Mode. It is a wrestling game, and it does not seem to fit in the wheelhouse of all the other videos I've started up so far. I'm just going to take some time to explain the history behind that, because in that actual video, which, no, I'm not going to link to, you guys can find it. It's the last video I put up today. In that video, I talk about, why I had 14 pieces of dirt. Oh, this is not my night, guys. What's going on? In that video, I talk about how much I used to really, really enjoy professional wrestling, and there's a story behind that. When I was 12 years old, in the year 1999, way back, this is going to be our farm, by the way. I'm going to have water coming through it. It's going to be great. In fact, screw it. Give me this dirt back. I just want those 3 on the back end for now. Yeah, in 1999, I was still living in Northeast Philadelphia in my grandmom's house with my mom, my great aunt, and my little sisters, and I started watching WCW. Someone in my class made it sound like I would be cool if I started watching it, and I said, oh yeah, I'll try that. And I tried it, and I really actually liked it. I started watching, actually before, no, I don't want to dig. I started watching well before I was 12. I'm getting very frustrated. These frames per second are not conducive to my button clicks. I started watching well before I was 12 years old. I started watching actually in, I want to say 1997, shortly after the NWO was formed with Kevin Nash and Scott Hall, and they got Hollywood Hogan and everything. And I really, really liked WCW. I liked Chris Jericho. I liked Rey Mysterio. I was a little guy. I was just this chunky little antisocial kid that really enjoyed watching professional wrestling. So the summer of 1999 came around, and my family had some weirdness going on. My mom, who I lived with at the time, my mom and dad were separated. She decided that she could not handle the responsibility of raising kids anymore, which isn't really a decision most people come to at the drop of a hat. Usually some thought goes into it. Oh my god, I'm getting attacked. Oh my god, that's my first fight. Oh, it's my first fight. Oh, got him. Stone sword. She decided she couldn't look after her children anymore. She had to go kind of get her head straight, and she did end up actually, seriously? Skeleton? Yeah, that's right. Fire bad. Fire bad, sucker. That was the one that was stalking me last night. She decided that she could not look after us anymore, and she left us in the care, me and my two sisters, three very rambunctious and poorly behaved children. She left us in the care as a seed, finally, in the care of her mom and her aunt, my grandmom and my great aunt. They very quickly, and I mean by the end of that summer, decided they couldn't do it. They couldn't keep up with it. They didn't have the energy for it. We were too rambunctious, and we were, like, honestly really bad kids. I feel bad to this day. We were just awful. So my much younger grandmom on the other side of the family, my dad's mom, had her house in South Jersey and decided that, hey, I could take the kids. It's not ideal for me, but I can do it because I can see that you guys are not doing so well and they need someone. So she volunteered to take us in, and we hated it. We hated it. I mean, I'm speaking for myself, I guess. I hated every minute of that decision. It was the worst summer of my life. I didn't have many friends because I was an awkward, geeky, fat kid, man. I played Pokemon, but the friends I had were very, very dear to me. They were my guys, and to move across the river in an era where no one had cell phones yet, like, we were way too young, they were way too not available. It was a really daunting prospect, and I was really upset, and I voiced it. We moved into New Jersey on August 31st, 1999, and it was the day before school started. It was awful. We moved over. I didn't even get to drop any of my stuff off in our new house to live with our other grandmom when she got us back in the car and had to take us up and down all the schools in our township and see if there were any that fit well. Now, we had all been Catholic school kids our whole lives, and that was one of the little caveats that my other grandmother, who was relinquishing, the care of us, that she put forward to the younger grandmother, was that they have to be schooled in a Catholic school. They have to be Catholic educated. Which, whatever. Now I'm going to plant these, but I don't have any water yet, so they're probably not going to grow. So we moved over there, and we spent that whole first day looking into schools, and I hated every single one. We ended up settling on one that, would be the school that we went to. And, yeah, it didn't stay because I need water. All right, so I need to go find more iron. We're going to put a lot of this stuff away. We're going to go underground for the rest of this episode because I need to make a bucket to go get water. There we go. So chest it up. You go away, and you go away, you go away, you go away. We've got 15 stone. You go away, you go away. I will keep my dirt. Seeds and bone go away, and all these. That stupid wooden axe. I am going to keep my pick. Alright, yeah, we'll go with that. So, we spent that whole first day just checking schools out. We settled on the one school. We went there. I spent my first couple weeks there not talking to anybody because I was still very upset over the fact that, oh my god, these ceilings are awful. Just upset over the fact that I had to go to this place against my will, and I was not happy about it. And we're going to start to dig right about here. Let's go left. And eventually, I started to make friends. This is probably late September this was 7th grade for me. Yay, iron, that's why we're down here. It's weird that that's a cave there, or something. So, I eventually made friends with a couple of the guys in my class, and, we got to know each other. We started playing Magic the Gathering, which was a lot of fun back then. I still play if anybody is, interested in that game. And most of them were into watching wrestling, and I thought I could bond with them. But the problem is they were all into WWF, and I was a WCW guy. So eventually they convinced me to start watching the WWF, not necessarily with them. That is a cave. But, I started watching it at home, and the first person I ever came across was Mr. Mick Foley, dressed as Mankind. And he instantly became my favorite friggin' person in the world, and I really started loving everything about the WWF. I started watching it semi-religiously all through calendar year 1999, and even through 2000, and then mid-2000 came, right around April, he got fired. It was a storyline thing, which I completely understood, but, oh, there's our water source, perfect. He ended up getting fired. Let's go back and get this iron. And I stopped watching pretty abruptly because I was a kid that, still believed that it wasn't all storyline. Um, and I didn't come back to it for a long time. We're going to fast forward many, 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 many. Come on, just mind the damn thing. We're going to fast forward many years to me going through high school and college without watching wrestling. I would hear new names coming up. I remember there was a time when I was in high school and I like happened to stumble across like TNN or whatever channel they were playing Raw on, and John Cena was on my screen, and I didn't know who he was, but I'm like, this guy is coming out to rap, and he's wearing his big, stupid, obnoxious chain around his head, and I'm just looking at him like, I don't want to watch this, and I just didn't want to watch it. So years passed. I'm talking years passed, and then I started dating my girlfriend in 2011, and all of our collective group of friends that we hang out with now, they all have some form of theater or acting background, whether it's something they did or just like kind of a hobby-based interest on their part. They're all very much into the arts, and we used to get together for a lot of really cool little, movie nights and things like that, and really just have a lot of fun with them. And those movie nights, oh man, I found a ravine, and a skeleton, and a creeper. With my iron helmet, I doubt I'm ready for this. And that skeleton is firing away. Yeah, we're going to go back down. We got some coal we can grab here, though. So those movie nights eventually transformed into us realizing that we all used to watch wrestling as a kid. We should put that there. There we go. No wasted lighting. Lots of wasted lighting. We all used to watch wrestling as a kid, and we got together for the Royal Rumble of 2012, last January, and decided it was something we all wanted to watch, and we took it ironically. We, got really fancy wine, and we, analyzed the acting skill, and I thought it was really funny. And we did the same thing for WrestleMania in my apartment last year, and there was a... Man, that skeleton is firing on me right now. The Undertaker was in a big match. He was always one of my favorites when I was a kid, so I actually made a little fan sign for him that I held up in my own living room. There are pictures on Facebook of it. I think it's pretty funny. And we did that. We had a good time. Oh, this is going to be bad. Something's going to drop on me. I'm sorry. That's why I'm stalling to talk. Something's going to drop on me here. I'm getting nervous. And after WrestleMania, I secretly started watching again just to see where things were. And before I knew what the hell was happening, I was completely back into wrestling. 100%. I loved it. I loved everything about it. I hate John Cena, but I love everything about wrestling regardless. And that's the story there. So I have rekindled my love for it, and over the past year, I watch it consistently. I am very much involved in, keeping up on the storylines and everything like that. So that explains why that has become my newest series on my little channel here. For those of you that may have been wondering, that's the reasoning. But yeah, so that actually leads me to another point while we're on the topic of series, where WWE is coming in. I'm going to have to announce the end of one. And it's not the end yet. It'll be over when it's over, but it is definitely going to have an end date. It's The Sims, guys. I want to keep doing it. I really want to keep doing it. I like it. I'm having fun with it. And you guys are, really commenting on the episodes and seem to be having a lot of fun seeing The Sims played that way. The problem is, my computer just can't handle it. I mean, we saw the way that it was playing Minecraft at the beginning of this episode because it didn't have Optifine. It shouldn't have to rely on Optifine. I should have a computer that can just play it natively and run it well, but I don't. I'm not in that position in life right now. And as I've mentioned before, after I move, I would love to buy a desktop. But I just don't have that kind of money right now. Considering I've put a lot of money into this channel already, when we're considering I bought my recording software and my actual microphone and games to play, I have put a pretty substantial chunk of change. We got some iron, right? Yeah, we got enough to make a bucket and some other cool stuff. So we're going to go back up. I just don't have enough to really spend anything else on this channel right now. I can't afford that desktop. I have to wait until after we move, or, maybe a little bit even further after that, regardless of the fact that we will both enjoy using a desktop. So I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to play through this first season of The Sims 3. We're going to, you know, get through it. We're going to eliminate down. We're going to get one last winner. And then I'm going to have to stop, I think. I think I'm going to have to put the series on hiatus. And I'll bring it back when I have a computer that can handle the graphics associated with The Sims. Because right now, this little MacBook Pro, though I enjoy the fact that it's alive, because that's friggin' awesome. It shouldn't be alive. It should be long dead. I've done a good job on it, if I may say so myself. I feel bad continually putting out an episode that looks bad. I filmed one. I filmed it earlier today. I'm going to probably edit and try to get it up on Sunday, so all these are going to be completely out of order. But I'm not satisfied with that being the video that I put forth on this channel. It's choppy, it's dumb, it's laggy. It's a cool concept, I think, but I just think even if you guys like the concept of it, after a while, you're going to get really tired of the fact that you can't watch a video without feeling sick. So I think we're going to have to finish this season up, and we're going to pull it momentarily, and when I upgrade my system, we'll be all good to start going again. But now I'm looking at my timer here, and I think I'm going over my limit. I hit my talking points, and I got 50% of the in-game tasks done that I wanted to get done. Got some wood and we got some seeds. Now we got to get some water. So we're going to pick up right where we left off this time next week. I'll have another cool beer. I'll have another relaxing night. And hopefully it's not going to be 96 degrees in my apartment. As usual, thank you for watching. I'm glad you continue to enjoy the things I do. For some reason, you like me rambling, so there you go. You just got another half hour of it, guys. I am going to get on to some other work for the evening. I hope you've got some cool plans. I hope you're doing some cool things. And I hope to God you're not sweating anywhere near as much as I am. Y'all have a great night. All right? Bye-bye.
And for those of you that are into this sort of thing, I'm going to go into what beer I was drinking during tonight's Minecraft little video. This is the Old Forge Overbite IPA. I get a 16-ounce pounder can, 1 full pint, pours 7.3% alcohol by volume. It's pretty nice on the amber side of things. I really like it. It's locally made. It's, well, for me at least, it's made in Danville, Pennsylvania, kind of up in the mountains to the northwest of Philly, but it's only about an hour and a half away. I just got turned on to these guys earlier last year in 2012. They've been in business for the better part of the last decade, but most of their business was focused on the actual, sorry, let me get in closer there, rest my arms. Most of their business was actually focused on their brew pub in Danville, where they do a lot of really, really cool craft beers. They just started a commercial line that features 4 beers in 16-ounce cans like this. You've got the Overbite IPA, you've got their T-Rail Pale Ale, and then they have 2 golden ales, an American and a Belgian style, I do believe. I've never liked much of their commercial line aside from this IPA, but this is a really good IPA. It kind of perfectly mixes the East Coast and West Coast styles. You get a good amount of malt. Nice kind of slight sweetness underneath everything. It breeds a little more of that alcohol content, and that'll be your East Coast influence there. But the hops they're using are most definitely from the West Coast. They're big, they're citric, they're more floral than piney, but they're still very nice. They're good and bitter, super refreshing. Really good beer, really cool brewery. I took my dad out for a tour for his birthday in early February this year. It was kind of like a service industry thing where they reached out to a few bars in Philly, and I happened to work in one. So I took him with us, and man, they gave us a good day. They gave me this glass I'm drinking out of, which is fashioned after one of their cans. Fantastic. And yeah, we had a good time. We got to drink some of the cooler craft stuff they have at the brewery. So if you're from, you know, the general tri-state area, try to find these guys. They're new on the market. They're really branching out. They're worth a shot for sure. If you're not quite from Philly, keep an eye out. They may be expanding in the coming months, weeks, years, whatever. And I don't know, yeah. If you're over the legal drinking age, go find them. They're good stuff. And in general, if this is the kind of thing you like, I kind of want to do this at the end of every video just to show you, you know, what I've been drinking, because on Thursday nights, I look forward to having my one really cool beer every week, and I'd like to share that with you guys. If any one of my subscribers happens to be into beer as much as I am, you know, enjoying the flavor of things, then, you know, keep your eyes open after the outro. I'll have something cool up for you. In the meantime, though, I'm going to enjoy this. You guys, I say cheers.